So it is going to be 61 today. It's not quite that temperature just yet, but today is a good day, mid-March, to really start getting these seedlings from the indoor greenhouse outside and starting to acclimate to the different temperatures and wind. That's what it means to harden off your seeds. You want to start very slowly. You want to start by an hour a day, a half hour to an hour, and then in shade as well. You don't want them in direct sunlight, so you want to do this slowly, and you want to do this over a period of times. I like to say about 2 weeks. Now that's if you're just doing it naturally outside. Now myself, I'm doing a bit differently. I happen to have a full greenhouse, as some of you guys know, outside. So my seedlings are actually going to be going into my greenhouse, which allows them to still get acclimated to the temperature. They won't get the wind in particular, but they will start to get the temperature acclimation. So we're going to be moving all of our trays, seedlings, out to the actual greenhouse and then bringing them in at night. Just like if you're hardening off seedlings for an hour, half hour, you want to keep extending that out, but you want to bring them in after that period of time. So make sure you're setting aside time to be able to do this effectively. And if you can't, you're better off leaving them inside. But you will find that if you don't harden off your seedlings properly, they will die very quickly when you go to transplant them. They'll have transplant shock. It's because they're not adjusted to the environment that you're putting them in. So they're used to this indoor, humid, hot environment right now, and we're going to be putting them in shock. So you don't want to just throw them out there. Will some survive if you do that? Very few, if any. So what I would recommend is that you start hardening your seeds off a minimum of 2 weeks before your last frost date. So because it's so early for me that my last frost date is not till roughly Mother's Day, I am going to be doing them in the greenhouse. I wouldn't start yours if you're doing them outside till about 2 to 3 weeks prior to your frost date. As I mentioned, you can find that on Farmer's Almanac. You can find when your last frost date is. I'll put a link in the description below for that. And what I'm going to be doing is, I know my temps are going to drop right back down to freezing. So I'm just trying to get them adjusted to the greenhouse temps for now. And so that way when I start to get warmer days, I can leave them out there, and I can leave them out there even overnight. And I can start my other seedlings inside that I want to in time for that to get them out, like my cucumbers and green beans, things like that I would like to start inside and get those going. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start carrying these out to the greenhouse, and I'll show you after I get them out there. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our tomato seedlings out in the greenhouse on the shelf. Taller ones that are staked on the floor. My greenhouse is obviously still a mess, but it's awesome because I was able to get all of this stuff actually out. Seedlings are out in the greenhouse enjoying some sunshine. The other nice part about it is if it gets warm in here, I can vent the windows, just kind of get those opened up, let some air in there, which also really helps. It's so bright out here. Sorry guys, I need to get a filter for my lens, clearly. But okay, so it's actually the next day, and if anybody's ever wondering about whether or not they should purchase a greenhouse, here's one of the reasons why you could consider it. I left these seedlings out overnight because the temps dipped down to 40s and they stayed doing really well. All right, so it is amazing to be out here in this weather, sleeves rolled up. It's really warm outside. I've got the window open. You might be able to see that behind me. And I'm in the greenhouse. All the seedlings are out here. It's just absolutely awesome to finally be filming outside. Obviously, I need to get a little filter for my lens because you can see I'm very much whitewashed, so I apologize about that. But I did want to discuss with you guys just the importance again of hardening off your seedlings. Start small. If you don't have a greenhouse, then it's okay. You can still harden off your seedlings very easily by putting them outside for about a half hour at a time to an hour for 2 days, then ramping it up to another hour. Slowly over the first 3 or 4 days, then give them partial sun and then bring them back into the shade. It does take some practice as far as that's concerned, but if you really want to give your seedlings the right start, that's the best thing to do. What it does is also helps strengthen them as they're getting that wind to root better and stronger roots and holding on a whole lot better. So even though they're still in their seedling trays or their initial up pot, it's really helping them strengthen their stalks, their stems, their roots, so on and so forth. So it's very important to harden off your seedlings. It also, you will find, will start to dry the soil out some more too. So if you've got some kind of mold in your seedling trays, that's perfectly fine, but it'll help with that humidity issue, so on and so forth. So give that a try, guys. Make sure you're hardening off your seedlings, and I will give you guys an update as time goes on. Thanks for watching. As always, I hope you guys are staying safe and enjoying your gardens.